Standing shot, you think I could make it?
Absolutely.
It's a big gun to be holding up like this. I'll just count that. I don't need to do it again. What's going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Stuff and Things. I am in probably a very familiar place for some of you guys out there who follow this guy, Mike, MrGunsnGear on YouTube.
Yep, this is probably the most famous deck on YouTube. At least one of them, for sure.
I always see pictures of rifles and everything right here in this corner, so it's cool to finally be here. Thanks for having me out.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. So for today's video, what I decided to do was, we were kind of talking about what to do last night. We filmed some videos, but I was like, let's do like a 5-gun sort of comparison. So my criteria was, I wanted to see your favorite AR,
Yep.
favorite AK,
Yep.
favorite metal pistol, could have been a 1911, 2011, something CZ, Beretta 92-ish. And favorite shotgun, and a favorite 22.
Yep.
So you got a couple different things here. We shot all these earlier today,
Yep.
and now you're gonna explain a little bit about them. So.
Sure. So, as you can imagine, I could have picked 5 guns for each one of these categories, but this guy's putting the pressure on, so I had to go with one. So we'll start, I guess, biggest and kind of work down.
Yeah, let's do the...
Okay, so this here is my Bravo company. This is a Mark 12 clone. So for those that don't know about Mark 12s, number one, I have a full video going into way more detail than I will here. But essentially, this is a purpose-driven, purpose-built rifle that came about in the early days of the global war on terrorism. It was a way to extend the range of an M4, but it's sort of a stopgap between the SR-25s that became more popular down the road, just to give it a little bit more extended range, a little bit more lethality. Special ammo was developed in conjunction with this barrel. It's an 18-inch rifle-length barrel. It has a lot of really cool features. The pinned flip-up gas block, a lot of PRI components like the handguard here, the continuous top rail. The barrel has a unique chambering. It's chambered with the 5.56 Marine Corps chamber. A lot of people don't even know that exists. It does exist. There's 2 rifles that had that in it. Number one was this one here, the Mark 12, and then the U.S. Marine Corps' Sam R rifle, which is a super cool rifle to clone as well. I don't have one, I need it. But this is the BCM version of it. There's several iterations of Mark 12 over the years. It's pretty close, has the Velcro stock, a lot of other things that are pretty cool going on with it. The VCOG is not really clone correct. It just, we didn't have an optic zeroed, so I had to put it on there. So.
It worked well. We were shooting this today out to like 170, 175 yards maybe. And we were, I mean, slamming steel all day.
Yep, and that extra velocity you get too just really helps buck the wind, which is nice. So it wasn't too windy out there today, but I've shot this in some really bad winds. And for 5.56, it does really, really well.
One of the things that's pretty unique, which we don't have to talk about a whole lot, but the muzzle brake on here, the way you explain it is basically the first internal component of a suppressor.
Yep, so it's designed to work with the Ops 12 suppressor, which was designed in conjunction with this rifle and also in conjunction with the ammo. It was all a package. So what's cool about it is that it has 18-inch barrel. This muzzle device here is threaded. If you guys are familiar with suppressors now in 2019, what I'm saying to you is going to sound like common sense or something that people frequently do and companies frequently do. When this rifle was developed, this was revolutionary. So it has the threads up here, which the thread actually the suppressor threads onto, and then it has a taper lock back here. It's called the Ops 12 collar or the Mark 12 collar. It's called both. And that's where it locks in, and it gives you a very, very repeatable point of impact when you actually have your can on there. You can take it off, service the rifle, whatever the case may be, put it back on, it's not gonna move. And that, at the time, was huge.
Standing shot, you think I could make it?
Absolutely.
It's a big gun to be holding up like this. I'll just count that. I don't need to do it again. Now let's move on to the AK, which is pretty special. This is a one of one.
Yep.
And you have it.
Yep, this is it. This is the one. So this is a, started its life as a SGL 31, so a 5.45 AK-74. But I wanted to make sort of like an AK-100 series clone. So for those of you guys who are familiar with that, those are the modernized versions of AKs in Russia. And with the 5.45 version of it, it has this combination gas block here. So it's a gas block and a combination front sight. That's not a factory option. And then here, it also has a chopped barrel, and this is Krebs custom IMS system. So this rifle was sent out to Krebs. Mark is a personal friend of mine. I don't think he does customization normally, so don't email him. But so he took this rifle, completely stripped it down, polished all the internal components, makes it run like, if you've ever fired like a Wilson Combat or a Nighthawk 1911, this is the AK version of that. Super smooth, everything's awesome, the triggers work, I mean everything's worked, all the surfaces in there to be extremely smooth. And this system here is the IMS system. I don't know what it stands for offhand, it's integrated mounting system maybe.
Sounds right.
Sounds good. But it comes like this as you see it now with a 4-prong flash hider. The Liberty Chaotic suppressor goes over it. I have one, we just didn't bring it out because it's on another AK today. But I wanted to show this feature as well, so it can be used in its base form as a flash hider, obviously, but they make different things that go over it. So this one here makes it sort of like an A2, where it has the ports on the sides but not on the bottom to kick dust up. They also make ones that will change it into a brake. It's a very versatile system. Mark does sell this. If you guys want just this system to mount suppressors, you can buy that. But it's super secure, it flattens everything out with AKs. Suppressing them can be a problem because of a lot of the shoulders on AK sights aren't flat. This eliminates that and makes it much more easy to suppress.
All right, now let's move on to, let's just go to the shotgun right away, because this thing was awesome to shoot.
Yeah, so this is a pretty basic gun. So this is a Mossberg 590A1 factory SBS, so there's short barrel shotgun. So there are no markings on it or anything like that because it came from the factory. That's kind of rare. There's not a lot of those out there in the world. 590s are super, super reliable, rugged shotguns. The only things I've done to this one is I added the Magpul SGA stock with the adjustable Enke pull spacers there, very ergonomic. I'm a huge fan of it.
I am as well.
And then I added the Surefire DSF Leap 600 to it. If you're looking to slap one of these on a Mossberg with a 14-inch barrel though, make sure you get that one. It's different than the one with the 18 or 20-inch barrels. It's a different model, so just a heads up on that. Then I've also added the Aridus Industries shotgun shell holder, which in my opinion is the best on the market. There's other good ones, but this one's the best. Pops off just like that. It's all metal. The shells will never come loose, unlike like a polymer one or something like that. Never. Like it literally will never happen. And you can pop them off and just put it back on there like that. And it's just an awesome, awesome setup. This one here has the ghost ring sights. It's 5+1, so 6 rounds total capacity with 2 3/4-inch shells. It's a beast. I mean, it's just a beast. It delivers hate and fury on demand, so it's awesome.
We also took this and ran some buckshot through it for a armor plate test. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave a link for it once it goes up, and that will be over on his channel. But it sent the plate through the backstop that we were shooting at.
It did. So. And I should also point out that while we were filming the B-roll that you guys probably already watched or are watching, it literally broke the 2x4 that my steel target was
yeah,
on.
it toasted
just the force of it, not the buckshot didn't hit it. It hit the steel and it pushed it through and broke the 2x4. So it's got some juice.
That's a badass little gun.
All right,
now let's move on to the favorite metal pistol. This one is familiar to me.
Sure. Great
Choice. I would probably pick it too if I owned one.
Yeah, so this is the Beretta 92 LTT, so it stands for Langdon Tactical, and it's fantastic. There's other guns that would have been in the running. I actually have a Wilson Beretta 92 that's great too. I've just been shooting this one a ton lately, and at this point,
people are going off in the comments already.
Go ahead, let me know. And I have some really cool CZs as well. I also have Wilson 1911. I have cool guns to choose from in this category, but I'm a huge 92 fan. I always have been. One of the few defenders of them on the internet, I think. But it has Ernest Langdon's magic dust sprinkled in it everywhere. So all the parts are redone, thin grips, great checkering, back straps, all the components that are working surfaces are smoothed out, all the edges are redone, it's all honed. There's little things that you would never notice, like the edge of the beaver tail is a little bit different than a regular one, the same on some trigger guard components. But it's stuff that if you shoot a lot, you would notice. The average person may not. Little details though that do make it very cool. So we have our standard 92 style grip on there. I think it's a 92A1 grip. Don't quote me on that. And then we have our Vertex slide on there. And it's a decocker only, which is a big thing. A lot of people don't like the safety on the Berettas, and honestly, I'm one of them. That is one of my criticisms of the firearm. But with the G model, it's awesome because it's decocker only. So there's no way, even if you know, one of the problems with Berettas historically is that if you get a malfunction and you have to clear it, you can accidentally turn your safety on, and when you go out to present, when you want to bang, you'll get a click or you'll get nothing. Actually, you'll get a dead trigger. So this prevents that. The worst that could ever happen is that it goes to double action, and I will tell you the double action trigger on this thing, phenomenal.
It is phenomenal.
It breaks right around 7 pounds, which for a Beretta, if you don't know, is phenomenal. Yeah. And the single action is like class. I mean, it's just, it's awesome in every way. It has the Langdon tactical sights on there, which are unique. And then, go ahead.
I just wanted to hold it.
Okay. And then it has a lot of little touches as well. So things that could be polymer on some of the new 92s and M9s are all steel. A lot of the components, internal components, also have a nickel boron finish on there, in addition to being polished and smooth. So I mean, it's silky smooth in every way.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of experience with the 92. I personally don't own one just because it was never really on my list.
Because he's a hipster.
Oh, come on. This, however, I can definitely tell the differences that it would be good for people who can understand the modifications.
Yep.
They're very subtle, but it definitely shows if you've shot both like a bone stock 92 compared to this. So
yeah, it's awesome.
That's a very good choice. I've shot one of these in the past. Again, we shot it today, like you guys saw, and yeah, great option for sure.
And what's crazy is the price on that too. This thing is an excellent value. Like compared to any other customized Beretta 92 out there, it's like cheaper than all of them. There's differences depending on what you want for sights and stuff like that. If you check it out on Langdon Tactical website, but I think they're coming around like $849 for base models,
really?
For full size, and then the compact is even cheaper. The compact's like, don't quote me, like $750-ish.
Okay.
But like look around on the market, all other competitors are over $1,000.
Yeah, I would have assumed that this would have been around the same.
And again, I have the competitors. I personally would prefer this. Those are great too, though. I'm not saying they're bad, but this would be, of any Beretta that's come out of the box, it's my favorite one to date.
So you're saying Wilson Combat sucks?
No, I love my Wilson. I love my Wilson. Really, really good.
All right, let's move on to the space gun, because this thing is super rad as well. Last one in the category, favorite 22.
Yep, so he asked that, and I don't have a ton of 22s. I have less than 10. So unlike all the others, I had a lot to choose from. This one, not so many, but this one probably would win just about regardless of the number I have. So this is the Smith & Wesson Performance Center Victory 22. So the Performance Center Victory comes in a ton of different configurations. There's some really cool things about it. If you guys are used to like the Ruger pistols out there, one thing that's really cool is it's so easy to clean. So some of those, not so much. The newer ones though are better. But this one, like literally one pin and it's all apart, wipe it down, put it back together, pin back in, done. It has all the things you'd expect from Performance Center. So we have our carbon fiber wrap barrel here, really light, great with heat. On there right now we have a Surefire 9M TI, so titanium suppressor. It's 9mm, so it's not as quiet as it theoretically could be, but this thing's quiet.
It was very quiet.
I mean, it's silly quiet, and it actually functions fine, suppressed or unsuppressed, with supers or subsonic ammunition. So it's not picky in that regard, which is not always the case for 22s. Great aftermarket, well, it's not aftermarket, it's Performance Center, but on a normal one would be aftermarket grips, very ergonomic, fit the hand real well. They have finger groups. Some folks don't like those. Honestly, I think it just depends if it fits you. It fits me. We have one thing I don't like, it's this oversized mag release, but some people really like it, not my thing. And on there we have a Vortex Viper, but super fun gun to shoot, it's reliable. The trigger is phenomenal. It's a Performance Center trigger, everything just kind of like this. Everything on there's worked over, has an adjustable over travel stop. I mean, it's slick, man.
It very is. It kind of looks like it would not be super ergonomic, just the way, I don't know, something about it, but dude, it actually is. It points very well. I mean, you can't go wrong with a suppressed 22, especially with all the features from Performance Center.
And it functions, right? So that's not always the case with a lot of semi-auto 22s.
Yeah.
The thing runs.
We're out there in the dust and sand today, and I mean, we're just literally throwing the mags onto the shooting mat, and the thing ran the entire time.
It always does.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
cool.
Awesome gun for sure. This one's not super cheap though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, right.
Tell you that up front.
Right.
But the actual base models of the guns, which I've shot as well, are very good. If you're looking for like an entry-level 22 semi-auto that's reliable, again, it's the same operating system. I would definitely look at them. Those are very affordable, very price competitive, and they're good to go too. They offer threaded barrel versions for the same price as the base model, so Definitely, if you don't want to go all tricked out, you just want to put cans in the backyard quietly or whatever, cool, you can do that too.
Right on. Well, that's it. That's the 5 that we went over today. Maybe we'll have to do this again in the future if you guys like this.
It'll change, I can tell you that. It always changes.
We could film this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
We pick something different.
Yeah, so definitely, if you disagree with the choices, if you watch my channel and you know you've seen other stuff over there, let me know down below how I made a wrong choice.
Let us know what your top 5 for these categories would be. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of debate in the comments.
For sure, for sure.
I might have to do one of these videos on my own too sometime.
I was thinking that too. I need to do another one too, just different categories, so it's not copying his.
Yeah, you can come up to my range in Pennsylvania and I'll bring some of my guns out and we'll do something similar to that.
We'll do it.
So if you guys have any questions, you can ask them in the comments down below. I probably won't be the best person to answer them, but he will probably be checking the comments every once in a while. Maybe he'll respond to you guys.
And I should jump in there. If you have specific questions, message me on Facebook. I respond to all the messages I get over there. I get a couple thousand a day. I respond to all of them.
There you go. I don't do that. I'll tell you straight up. I don't respond to DMs and Facebook. Maybe I'll try to get better at that. But all right, dude. Thanks for taking me out to the range today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me here in North Carolina. I appreciate it. If you guys don't subscribe to Mr. Guns and Gear, I don't know what you're doing. I will leave a link right up there in the corner and in the description down below. And yeah, thanks man, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, thanks for coming out.
Yeah, so if you are new to this channel, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every week. That's gonna be all for today. So as always, thanks for watching. Gotta walk around the table to do this part. We'll talk to you in the next one.